They may rule Gotham from a shadowed perch, but this group of the elite are more than just another mysterious society. Today, the Court of Owls are put up against the incredible rogues gallery of the Dark Knight as I make the controversial yet definitive statement that the Court of Owls are the perfect Batman villains. Stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is DJ, and the Court of Owls group that has haunted Gotham City has proven to be one of the most interesting inclusions to Batman comic books in recent memory. From its retconned but still deep-rooted history in Gotham City to its dangerous Talon warrior, the Court has proven to be a dangerous foe for Gotham's Caped Crusader. But to call them Batman's perfect villains, when comparing them to the Joker, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, Condiment King, and all of the other incredible villains in Batman's lineup of enemies? I know, it may seem mad, but I truly believe that the Court of Owls are the perfect Batman villains. Now, that doesn't mean that they're my favorite villains by any means, nor does it mean that they are Gotham's most dangerous threat. Sure, you may have the Joker as the biggest threat to Gotham City's survival, but the Court of Owls are a much bigger challenge to Batman specifically. Because unlike Mr. Freeze, Penguin, or even the horrifying Condiment King, the Court of Owls challenges every single aspect of Batman's abilities. The best Batman villains, hell, the best villains in general, test a fundamental aspect of their heroic counterpart. The Riddler tests Batman's intelligence. The Joker tests his will. Bane tests his physical strength. Catwoman tests his raging hard bat dick. But unlike those who specifically target one aspect of Batman's skills, like the villains I just mentioned, the Court actually challenges every single aspect of Batman's character. Don't believe me? Well, let's go down the list. Let's start with an obvious one, the Riddler. He specifically targets Batman's knowledge and overall intelligence as a detective. And the Court also tests Batman's knowledge and detective skills perhaps even more than the Riddler himself. After all, when facing off against him, Batman at least knows that Edward Nygma is just a man with a plan. He at least knows that Edward has a puzzle, a game, a scheme, something tangible that Batman must follow to defeat him. Well, when it comes to the Court of Owls, Batman kinda has no idea what he's up against. Hell, for a long time, he didn't even know that they existed. So Batman has to pull out every trick in the book just to investigate this group that has been shrouded in so much mystery. He has to literally track down and defeat a force that most people don't even believe exist. And to do that, Batman's detection skills have to link up with that part of his brain that understands Gotham City's history. He needs to have an almost encyclopedic knowledge of the city he's sworn to protect in order to uncover and defeat an organization that has been pulling all of Gotham's strings from right under his nose. But as he continues to uncover this force, he has to be ready to immediately transform from detective analysis to crime-fighting warrior. Since, of course, the Court has their very own assassins in the Talons. The Talons are essentially these highly trained killers used to do the bidding by the Court. Their skill set that I could find includes a high intelligence, tremendous flexibility, fighting skills, and the ability to be resurrected from the dead by the Court whenever needed. But unlike other villains that test Batman's combat skills, like Deathstroke for example, the Talons have been shrouded in so much mystery that it's really difficult to pinpoint what their strengths and weaknesses are. Whereas with guys like Deathstroke, their weaknesses are more obvious than the mysterious and threatening Talon assassin. So he has to go hand to hand with someone that is not only a well-trained fighter, but someone that Batman knows almost nothing about. Which can make those high-pressure battles with the Talons kind of tricky since, as stated in The Art of War, if you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. But it's not just the Talons that make up this organization. Like I mentioned before, there are all of these other elite billionaires that make up this underground society in Gotham. Which means Batman is also tested in that way, as a single man going up against an entire army with seemingly unlimited resources. But unlike another villain that would usually test Batman's ability to face off against an entire army of soldiers, like Ra's al Ghul for example, Batman finds himself in the middle of a city that is essentially the playground of his opponent. So Batman has to be a strong, intelligent, one-man army in a city that he is forced not to trust. Batman must take on the Corps in what is essentially enemy territory. And keep in mind, the mystery behind the Court of Owls also makes it so Batman is fighting up against an enemy he doesn't fully understand. But that's not all, because like with villains such as Two-Face and Hush, Batman has a personal connection to the Court of Owls through his other persona as Bruce Wayne that he must deal with. You see, in a lot of Batman tales involving the Court of Owls, it is revealed that they were the ones behind the murder of Bruce Wayne's parents. So whenever he goes up against them, Bruce Wayne also has to deal with the emotional trauma of battling the organization that killed his parents. Batman is forced to relive the trauma that has completely shaped his life in a fight against maybe the most powerful force in Gotham City. Batman, when dealing with the Court of Owls, is challenged mentally as he investigates a secret group in Gotham City, physically through his hand-to-hand battles against the deadly Talon assassin, spiritually as his will gets broken down through his fight against the insurmountable odds in what has essentially become enemy territory, and he is challenged emotionally as he has to push down his personal trauma and anger to take on this massive enemy. The Court essentially take all of the aspects of some of Batman's most threatening villains, like Ra's al Ghul, like Deathstroke, like Riddler, and rolls them all up into one as a huge threat for the Dark Knight. And sure, while I stated earlier that they're not really my favorite Batman villains, you can't deny that they've become his biggest personal challenge to date. You know, outside of Condiment King. While characters like the Joker might be a bit more interesting and have more of a claim as Batman's arch-nemesis, the Court of Owls are able to do the one thing that no other foe seemingly can. They are able to match Batman's skills in every way. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And that's why, in my opinion, the Court of Owls are the perfect counterparts to Batman. Because Gotham City's savior is most challenged by Gotham City's underground overlords. Thank you all so much for watching this video. What do you think about my claim of the Court of Owls being Batman's most perfect enemies? And who else do you think could lay claim as Brucey Boy's greatest challenge? Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But until next time, have a good day. Bye-bye.